Welcome to It Girl Era.
Hi guys, we're back.
We are back.
This is episode 2 of chapter 2.
Wow.
Woo.
We're excited to be here. Whitney's already sweating.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard episode for Whitney, but we're here. We're going to get through it together, and I'm so proud of her for sharing her story. Part of our journey, part of It Girl Era is being real, open, and honest and relatable. So hopefully Whitney's story can help one of you guys out there.
Yep.
Bring you some light and love, and let's do this.
We're here to share, right?
We're here for it.
So let's rewind way back to the beginning.
Who is Whitney?
Whitney is a different human now than she was in her 20s. That's for damn sure. And I am proud of that. But I feel like for anyone in life, like it's our experiences that shape us into who we are. So when I was like 22, 23, I met this man. We'll call him Jack. He seemed great. He was like so attractive. And I feel like when I was dating in my early 20s, that was very much all I cared about was a man's looks, you know. You live and you learn.
Yes.
But so we ended up dating in total for like 6 years, I think it was. I'm not sure on timeline exactly, but it was about 6 years. We had 2 beautiful children together. The relationship definitely turned toxic. I was definitely at the lowest point of my life. I knew that if I didn't go to therapy, I was probably honestly going to end up dead.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to start crying right now.
It's okay.
But
did you feel like you had support at the time?
I didn't, because I didn't really have a relationship with my family at that time. I had pushed all my friends away.
Yeah.
Because
isolated.
I was embarrassed of like the situation that I was living, you know? So I got myself into therapy, started going to a therapist. He came with me to a few sessions. There was a point in time, I don't even remember what the issue was, but the therapist like asked him, so what are you going to do in this scenario? And basically he said he was going to have my back. Well, then we left that session and the situation arose and he didn't have my back. So then I went back to therapy the next week and we talked about it, and the therapist asked me, did he have your back? And I said no. So then I remember sitting talking to him and him looking at me and saying, so then what are you going to do now? And like right there in that moment,
like your heart just died.
I knew. I need to leave. Otherwise, I know that like this is never going to change. And like I need to be a good mom for my kids. And like they deserve better than this. I deserve better than this. Like I remember like later on, like we were fighting a court battle and looking at the therapist's notes. And like he made a note like severely underweight. Like I wasn't eating. I was so stressed. And I honestly think if I would have stayed in that relationship, I would not be here today.
Yeah, it would have killed you, honestly.
Literally, it would have killed me. It was killing me.
And would you say it was more like an emotional abuse type?
Yeah, it was like just emotionally unhealthy, like very unsupportive, just toxic in so many ways.
Yeah, so many ways.
So I ended up finally leaving.
Getting the strength
to leave, which isn't fucking easy.
No, it's hard.
Especially when kids are involved. So if
and your
you
kids
are
were
going
little.
through, like
little kids.
Hayden was a baby. I mean, she was literally a baby, and Hudson was 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I left that relationship. I continued to go to therapy for a little bit after, and finally found myself again. Confidence. I got out, started dating. Yeah, it was definitely a struggle, but I continued to work on myself, and I ended up meeting this guy who I thought was, you know, amazing in every way. Like,
so we're done with Jack.
Now
we're healed. Whitney's feeling better.
Yep.
And now she's like dating.
Yep.
Okay.
Dated.
We met this new boy.
We did. We met a lot of new boys, which was fun. But met this new boy.
Okay.
We'll name him Sean. We'll just say Sean.
Okay, we met Sean.
We
don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
Yeah, these aren't the real names. So we were so happy. Like it seemed like a whirlwind, like fairy tale romance. Like he was so sweet. Like Whitney is a big flower girl, like always sending me flowers, like being such a hype guy for everything. Because at this point I had started my social media after I left my kid's dad, because I'm like, I need something to do with my free time.
Yes.
So he was like so supportive of that. Like anytime I had a big milestone, he'd celebrate with me. And like, I know for you and I both, that's so important.
It is. Yeah.
So I just felt like, I had found my person, and we dated for a little less than a year and got engaged.
So do you feel like, looking back, that was like kind of love bombing? Now that you know what that means? And I mean,
I would say a little bit. There wasn't like super extravagant gifts or anything.
But it was just a lot at once.
It was a lot all at once, and like so fast. And like, I feel like now, like through just growth and whatever, if I was to meet him tomorrow, he's nobody I'd even entertain.
Well, and you were coming from a broken relationship that was super toxic. Well, so anything was better.
Right. Well, and he was everything I felt like my last relationship lacked. So it's like, here's this person, like he's basically enamored with me. And like, to me, it's like that felt good.
Yeah.
So he proposed. I said yes. It was like the night of the wedding. It was like a switch flipped.
Oh, you've got to tell him about the night of the wedding. You guys.
Okay, so.
Wild.
Yeah, in like all the wrong ways.
Well, red flag, but it's too late.
It's too late.
You're fucking married.
My fucking vows.
Shit, you're like 5 hours too late.
It's like, shit. But I mean, I just kind of chalked it up to like, everybody has their nights. But like, you guys, so we had our reception at a hotel venue, and the manager of the hotel came up to me and said, "We're shutting down your reception early. The groom is too drunk. There's people throwing beer bottles off the atrium."
Wow.
And there was something else too. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I was so pissed. One of my bridesmaids just left with me. I'm like, I can't deal with this.
That's so sad.
Can't deal with this. So I think we sat up in our room, well, in like my suite, like honeymoon suite or whatever, with my friend for, I don't know, maybe an hour before he even realized.
Your wedding night.
Yeah.
How romantic.
So romantic. Like the red carpet was totally rolled out for me. Yeah, so that was like super fucked up in hindsight. And my mom told me the next day, she's like, I thought I heard him throwing up in the bathroom.
So we're married to Steve now.
Sean.
We're married to Sean now. And tell us about, we all need to know about the marriage now.
Yeah. So I would say like the first year overall was like pretty good until it wasn't.
Shit.
Like I feel like the drinking became a little bit of an issue. There was other things going on. Like we just weren't connecting. He was literally never home with me. Like, and to me, I want somebody that loves my kids and like sees them as like an extension of me and loves them just as much as they love me. And he was so just not involved in that, And that became an issue. And Amanda, I know like you were very much involved in this too. Like I celebrated like birthdays with you and like other friends of ours.
He wasn't around.
Instead of him. And it's just like this, like, what am I doing? Yeah. Like my husband, should be my ride or die, like here.
He's not there.
Celebrating these milestones. And like, in my opinion, birthdays are important. Like, I don't need anything super like big or, like a surprise party or anything. But like, it's just more of like, okay, you've been here for another year on this planet. That's something to be celebrated. So after...
Were you guys like fighting at this time? Because I don't really remember. Were you guys kind of just like roommate situation?
Yeah, it was kind of like a roommate situation. I wouldn't even say that we were fighting, but we definitely like we just weren't vibing. Like the communication just
disconnect.
Yeah, totally disconnected. probably like the last year of our relationship. But I like was talking to friends, family about all of it. And like everyone got to a point where it's like he's literally never home on weekends. He was big into hunting and stuff. And like he was always hunting. And my dad, I remember saying, don't you think it's weird that he's hunting every weekend and never killing anything? I'm like, I guess I never thought about that. Like, I'm not a hunter at all, you know? So I'm like, I guess, yeah, that is kind of weird. But like,
so now our spidey senses are kind of going.
So I'm kind of like, what? Like, yeah, okay. And then one of our really good family friends said to me, I think he's cheating on you. And I was like, no, he would never do that. Because we had conversations before getting married about like, you know, how he'd never do that, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, okay, wow, that's like a huge pill to swallow too when somebody says it to you.
Gut puncher.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to throw up now. So sat like marinated on that for a few days. And I remember I was with another couple out to dinner that Saturday. He was away hunting, of course. And I brought it up to them. And like, I remember I just started sobbing. And I think in that moment, I realized I'm like, my intuition is like telling me this isn't right. And I remember like him saying, the guy in the relationship, the people that I was with, he said he's like, he would never do that to you. Like, you know, he has this gorgeous woman at home. Like, you're amazing. Like, why would he do that? He would never do that. Like, just stop thinking that. And it kept playing in my head. And so I remember the next day, it was Sunday, I had a conversation with him and he's like, I'm going to stay where I am, wherever he was. He's like, I'll come back tomorrow. And I just point blank asked him, I'm like, is there somebody else?
And what did he say?
He said no.
Of course, they always say no.
They always lie.
They always say no.
So I was like, okay. And then Monday morning, I woke up and I had a message from one of my friends and she said, hey, I'm just the messenger, but you have a message from this guy, I don't remember what his name was, on Facebook that you need to go open. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, call me after you read it. And I was like, okay.
Like, I bet you didn't even want to freaking open that message.
No, I needed to know. I'm like, what the fuck is this message? And I had no idea what it was.
It gives me anxiety. Like, my tummy's like rolling.
I know.
When you tell
I have chills right now. It's like reliving all of this. Mm-hmm. So I go to Facebook. Like, I don't even know how to like operate Facebook. I'm so like oblivious when it comes to that platform. But so I finally find the request. This guy had been trying to message me for like a month. Yeah, a month. And it said something along the lines of like, I don't know the situation or like the state of your marriage, but Sean has been messaging my girlfriend trying to like get her to go to dinner with him. And
dirty dog.
They met at some happy hour and I knew he had been going to happy hours. And I'm like, okay. I was like, do you have any more information? You know, whatever. And he's like, no, that's kind of all that I know. So I'm like, okay, that's shady. Already like pissed, wanting to throw up. You know that feeling when you
just
get that shitty information. It's like,
okay, so I need to know, because I've never asked you this. Did you like freak out and call him right away?
No.
You kept it locked in.
For, like the day, it was fucking crazy. So then I called my friend. We were like sitting there like going through everything and, you know, like trying to figure out who this girl was and whatever. And then I had to go to parent-teacher conferences that night with my kids. And he fucking came to the conferences too. I sat there and pretended like I knew nothing. And like, I didn't want to call him out because I wanted to get the facts on the situation.
Wow.
So I sat there, pretended like everything was fine. And then after conferences, mind you, Jack is also at conferences.
Oh, we got them all here, guys. We got Jack.
We got Sean, and we got Whitney, and then we have my two kids.
We got the ex-baby daddy, and we got...
So we had a full-on
cheating husband.
Fucking party.
Yeah.
And so that poor teacher, God bless her soul, both of them.
What is this energy?
Yeah. She's like, something feels off here. I can't pinpoint what it is, but... So anyways, okay, so then after conferences, he comes out and he goes, yeah, I think I'm going to go back to whatever town tonight I'm going to like go hunting in the morning. And I'm like, what the I'm like, I know you're lying right now, but like, I can't tell. I was like, okay, peace out, you know?
Yeah.
So I called my best friend that lives in this town, and I was like, I need you to drive by this house. This is where he's staying. Like, and she's like, what's going on? And I told her everything, and she's like, okay. And her husband was in on this too. He's like, you have to go. This was at like 10 p.m.
I love it.
So she drives by this house, calls me back, or I was on the phone with her maybe. I don't even fucking remember. But she's like, there's a car in the driveway. And I'm like, what? And she's like, there's no lights on in the house, but there's a car in the driveway. There's a TV on, and like sent me a picture. And like she had been in that house with me too before, because we would stay there.
Yeah.
So she's like, there's no lights on, but there's a TV on. She took a picture of the car.
This is like FBI shit, you guys.
FBI. Yeah. If you want Amanda or I to figure something out,
we are actually
we
really
will
good.
fucking figure it out.
We will. We'll figure it out.
So this gets even crazier, because I had no idea who the car was. Wasn't going to call him out. At this point, though, I did start trying to call him, and he was not answering my phone calls. Like, ignored my phone calls all night.
It's because he was busy getting...
He was getting fucked. Probably, is my guess.
I just threw my mouth. Ew.
I mean, let's be real.
Because I do know the girl he was with, and I'm like,
this is where it gets real freaking crazy, though. Okay, so the next day he came back, and I did call him out. Denied. And eventually ended up admitting to one. But I'm like, who is the girl? He wouldn't tell me. He's like, for her sake, I'm not telling you.
Okay.
That's fucked up.
Men and women, if you're ever going to confess that you've cheated, don't say for their sake to protect them.
Yeah. Like, what about your wife right here?
You're just digging a big asshole.
You're digging a huge hole.
At this point, just shut up.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
You're done.
So I was like, whatever. I was like, get out of here. Get your shit. Get out of the
Good
house.
for you.
Yep. So then I had a hair appointment the next day.
We love a hair appointment.
My hairstylist is also like one of my good friends from like 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah.
So I'm telling her this story, and she's like, to this day, she's like, that was still the wildest appointment with anyone ever sitting in my chair. So I'm telling her this, giving her like the play-by-play. And we have a friend that we went to high school with. It's a lawyer. She's like, pull up the license plate. If you have the car, let's have her do like a search. And I pulled up the car. I'm getting chills right now.
I know this is.
Pulled up the car. And she's like, I know that car. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, that's so-and-so. She works here.
You guys.
She works here. And I knew the girl.
She had done services on you.
Done services on me.
The girl he was fucking.
Yep.
That's so crazy.
So fucked up.
It's always someone you know.
Literally.
I feel like.
So then I called him out on it after I left that appointment.
That is nuts.
He's like, how'd you find that out? I'm like, I'll fucking find out anything. And then come to find out that, you guys, this is a huge part of why I hate Snapchat too. It's for kids and for cheaters. Is because I come to find out he was communicating with, he admitted to 3 women. And you know what they say, there's always more. It's at least double to what they tell you.
Okay, 3 women in like a year.
I honestly, like, looking back now, like, just reflecting, this was, 3 years ago now, so it's been a while, but like, just reflecting back on everything, like how he moved, like how I feel like I was a little bit like manipulated, or like, I feel like he maybe was cheating the whole time.
Wow. And you guys, I had met him a few times.
Yeah, and like everyone was shocked. Like
he was a really nice guy. Like he was very charismatic. Like he definitely had this like front about him.
He's like the spitting image of like a salesman.
Narcissist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, wow. I'm sorry. But
I mean,
all
feel
of
like
that.
All of
that
though this is why, you guys, when like we share like what our standards are, like what we want in somebody, going through all this shit that we've been through with men and just like dating, it's like, this is why we have the standards that we have, because I don't want to fucking go through that again.
Yeah.
I've done it enough. I've done it twice. It's like I just, and like mentally, and it's like now, like dating, I see like some of those qualities in other men, and it's like, I'm done. Like I cut it off so fast because it's easier to pick up on now. And like, I feel like going through these shitty relationships and shitty experiences has definitely made me stronger, and it's given me like the grit that I have now to like want to hustle and like be like, fuck you, you said I couldn't do this, well look at me now.
Yeah. So you
left his ass for
got
sure.
divorced.
Yeah.
And then just to like play catch up for everyone.
Okay, so and that's the other part of this. So when I found this out, I was supposed to be going to court to fight for my kids in 2 weeks.
A custody battle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's
I remember that, you guys. It was bad stuff for her.
Oh God, it was so
Whitney
bad.
was
like
struggling.
I again lost so much weight. Like looking at pictures of myself, I'm like, oh, I think I weighed like 90 pounds.
Because you're someone, when you're stressed, you have no appetite. You feel nauseous.
I couldn't eat. Like
you were just sick.
Whole like week that I was in court.
And
too.
people were so mean on social media.
So mean.
To you.
But so I was going through a divorce and a custody battle at the same time. And that was like probably like a 6 to 8 month stretch. And it's just
so hard
to cheat on somebody and like, for all of it to come out and just, I don't know, just looking back, I'm like, wow, that was a lot.
You were like, every day was like, can I get through this day?
I know.
Can I survive? And like, fighting for your kids and
everything,
what's best for them.
Yeah.
And
plus
then
trying to work, being a single mom,
being
like
a single
balancing
mom.
Literally everything.
And then on top of it all, like we had talked about, like Whitney does social media full time. You have to get on the camera.
You have to show
up. You have brand deals.
Yeah.
You can't sit in bed and be depressed.
No, I have kids to feed.
So it's like, even though like you don't get paid unless you're working.
Exactly.
So it's like there was no stop and like take a break and like recoup.
So the week that I was in court, I did take that week off, and like
that was 1 week I know you did take off.
I mentally couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I knew I couldn't. But yeah, it's just like, even like reflecting back, it's like, holy shit.
It was so much at once.
It was a lot. Like going through just like a custody battle is a lot. Going through a divorce, like that's a fucking lot.
Yeah.
And to do it at the same time.
Yeah.
And
feeling a lot alone.
Yeah.
Because I know like we had each other at that time.
Yeah.
We really got close. But we didn't live next door to each other. I mean, and feeling like, who can I trust? Who do I have support from? Because you really do find out during those times who has your back.
I know. And like I have a better relationship with my family now. Like we rebuilt that relationship, and my mom and one of my aunts came and like stayed with me that week that I was in court, just to like help with my kids, because I also had my kids that week.
Oh God.
But yeah, it was a lot. But I, got through it all. I learned a lot about myself.
You're so much stronger.
So much stronger.
Like, you guys, some of you knew Whitney years ago and have been following her for years. Some of you are new here.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like Whitney and I both, but Whitney like is a 180 different person.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely not that. Even in like the past like 3 years, I feel like I've done a lot of work on myself, and I have really embraced just like being single and like working on me, focusing on, building our brand and like my personal brand, and just, like, what do I really want?
Yeah.
And I feel like I've become like so much more spiritual and just a more well-rounded person that like now if I was to meet any guys, even guys that I, dated a year ago, if I was to meet that person now, I wouldn't be interested.
Yes.
But it doesn't come without self-reflection and like work and like looking back too. It's like, I know I played a role in that. Like I know that I had a part in it too. It takes two people in any relationship, whether it's friendship, marriage, relationships, business partnerships, whatever, like it takes two. But I don't ever condone like, cheating or doing what he did. Like, I don't think that's great. But at the end of the day, it happened for a reason. And I truly feel blessed that it did happen, because now I'm able to share my story and give my insight and, opinions to the rest of our listeners, and share my experience on social to help other people.
I know. I'm so proud of you. I love you.
Yeah. And now it's like
I know.
Single Whitney just living her best life, like doing her thing, and we'll see.
We're dating, having fun, having strong boundaries.
Yes, boundaries are very much in place. This is why like we have a 3-month rule. We've come a long way, both of us.
Yes, we have. I mean, your story is so inspiring for me. And I mean, I wish I was there with you in the beginning when you were with your baby daddy, and I could have been there for you. But I know a lot of people are going to be able to relate because that's real life. People
that is real
go
life.
through shit. Yeah. People get married, get divorced. They have kids with people they maybe shouldn't have had kids with. But in the end, like you have 2 beautiful kids.
I know. And I'm so grateful for that. And like, I mean, for him, it's like, I feel like as time has gone on, like our relationship has slowly gotten better. And I'm so grateful for my kids. I love my kids dearly. They're the most important people in the world to me. I love being a mom.
You're such a good mom. Such a good mommy.
But
she's a hot mom. We love a hot mom.
Thanks, babe. But yeah, I just feel grateful for all of it. Everything happens for a reason, and I truly believe that.
Yeah. Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. We're here.
Love you.
Thanks, you guys, for listening. And our next episode is going to be about Amanda sharing her story.
All right. Next week, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
We love you.
Find us on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.
Yes.
Until next week. Bye.